Good morning class, I'm Govind Vyas. Today is our turn to solve question number 3 of exercise 10.1. Okay, so I'm going to read question number 3 for you. What does it says? It says, what will be the locus of a point equidistant from three non-collinear points, and their names are A, B and C, and we have also to justify our answer. It says that there are three non-collinear points. What does non-collinear means? That means those are not in the straight manner, they are randomly distributed. So I can say that we are doing the third question. 3 points, point A, point B and point C. There are 3 points. They are non-collinear. They are not in the straight line, right? And one more thing, it is given to us that all of them are equidistant. That means this distance and this distance, all these distances are equal, right? AB is equals to BC and BC is equals to CA. All these distances are equal. Okay, fine. So, and we have to find the locus of all these 3 points. That means we have to find a particular point which is at equal distance from A, from B and from C, right? That is what we are supposed to do. So firstly we will write what is given to us. The given thing is AB is equals to BC, that is equals to AC. These 3 sides are equal, fine. And what we are supposed to do to find locus of A, B, C, locus of these 3 points, fine. For this we have to construct something, so I will mention the next step as construction. Okay, fine. Now what? The construction is a perpendicular on BC. I will give it name AD. AD, a perpendicular on side BC. AD, a perpendicular on side BC. Okay, fine. Now after this, another perpendicular BE, a perpendicular on side AC. Another, a perpendicular CF on side AB. So 3 perpendiculars I have plotted here. Now notice one thing, that when all these sides are equal, that means AB, BC, AC are equal. Notice one thing, this side is equals to this side, AB is equals to AC. Yes, we know that AB is equals to AC, and if I put a perpendicular on BC, then because these 2 sides are equal, so due to this perpendicular BC will be bisected. That means this point D will bisect BC, or I can say because of D, this BC is divided into 2 equal parts, BD and CD. BD is equals to CD. This is what I want to say, right? Okay, so I know that this side is equal and this is also equal. BD and CD, these are equal. Okay, fine. So we give this point C all these three perpendiculars AD, BE, CF, all these 3 points meet at a common point O. O is our locus. I am telling you already, but this is not the way we solve in mathematics. We have to prove it, that why the O is locus, right? O must be equal to A, as equal to B, and as equal to C. If O is at equal distance from all these 3 points A, B, C, then O is said to be locus. So we have to prove that OA equal OB equal OC. This is what we have to prove. Fine. Okay, fine. So let's see. Firstly, see, there are 2 triangles here. Focus on these 2 triangles, OBD and OCD, right? I will do it here. In triangle OBD and triangle OCD. In these 2 triangles, see, this is 90 degree. This is a 90 degree angle, and since it is a 90 degree, you must have you must be familiar with the pattern of RHS formula, right? In RHS formula, when there is a right angle triangle, if in 2 triangles you equal only 2 things, then the triangle is said to be congruent. Generally, we have to do 3 things equal to make 2 triangles congruent. But in the RHS formula, if you equate only 2 things, then the triangle will be, both the triangles will be equal, because the third thing 90 degree is there, right? So you are familiar with this, and we are not going to discuss that in the more. So for both these triangles, we know that BD is equal to CD. BD is equals to CD. One thing, why is it equal? Because it is being bisected. So I will write here bisect. What another thing? Another thing is OD. OD is equals to OD. It is common in the both the triangles. So I can say common. One more thing you can write, this is 90 degree, this is 90 degree, but that is understood, right? So I will say that by RHS rule, what? This triangle is congruent to this one. Triangle OBD is congruent to OCD. Since both these triangles are congruent, so everything of them will be equal, right? So this side of triangle, this one, and this side of triangle, this one will be equal, right? So OB will be equal to OC. Why? CPCT, corresponding part of congruent triangle. OB will be equal to OC. I will give it the name statement 1 and write state 1. Okay. Now I will solve it here. I have taken these 2 triangles. Now I am taking these 2 triangles. First, these 2 triangles were on BC. Now these 2 triangles are on AC. We are not going to completely solve it. We will do it in the short form. We will say similarly triangle, just the way we made these 2 triangles congruent, as it is, we will make these 2 triangles congruent. So we will write similarly triangle AOE is congruent to triangle COE. Yes, these triangles are congruent. So if these triangles are congruent, then OA will be equal to OC. So OA will be equal to OC. Give it name statement number 2, and see, by statement number 1 and statement number 2, divide these 2 equations. What can we say? OC is equal to OA and OC is equal to also BC. Both are equal to OC. That means both are mutually must be also be equal, right? So we can say that by first and second part OA equal OB equal OC. That means this length and this length, all these three lengths are equal. That means this basically this says that O is at equal distance from all these 3 points A, B and C. That means O is the locus. Because what is the condition of locus? The condition of locus is that point must be at equal distance from all the remaining points, right? So O is at equal distance from all the remaining points. This is the first condition. But I also said after the equal distance, a meaningful shape must also be formed there. That is the full meaning of locus. So what kind of meaningful shape can be drawn? See, if you are having a compass, put the pointer, the sharp point of compass on O, and a pencil is joined with it, connected to it. Put pencil somewhere here at A or at B, C, anywhere, any particular point. So suppose I have put the sharpened point of the compass on O and pointer of pencil on A. Now round it. So this is the way you will get a circle. What circle? This circle will be formed outer side of the triangle. So it is said circumcircle. If a circle is formed at the outer side of the triangle, this is known as circumcircle, not outer circle. Outer circle is not an appropriate word for this. Circumcircle is the appropriate word, right? So you will get a circle formed on the outer part, right? And one more thing to notice, that this circle touches all the vertices A, B, C. See, it just touches all the vertices. In the detail or in the practical manner, you will also get this concept in the 14.2 exercise, right? But that is what we will do in our upcoming lectures. So wait for that. Till then, you can understand this or visualize this, that from when we put the pointer of the compass here and pointer of the pencil here and we round it, we get a circle which touches all the corners, all the vertices. So it also verifies that A, B, C are at equal distance from the point O. So what is the locus? Locus is not the circle. Locus is this point. Only a point is the locus. Locus is never a shape. Locus is basically a point or a combination of points, right? So O is the locus. What is its name? O is the center of this circle and this is a circumcircle. So what is O? O is circumcenter. Fine. So our answer is circumcenter, and this is the justification of all the parts asked. Clear? So our third question is solved. I would like that you solve the fourth question, and any doubt comes, I will help you out. Okay? Because fourth question, I can say not exactly same to this, but almost similar to this. Right? So solve the fourth question. This is the third question we have solved. One more thing, like this channel, share and subscribe. Thank you.